Welcome to League of Legends 101. Class is in session and you may call me Sensei. Today's topic is going to be the basics of supports. So grab your textbooks and let's get started. First things first, always assume that your ADC is garbage. Their knowledge, garbage. Mechanics, garbage. Skills, garbage. Going into a game with this already in mind makes you aware of your role as a caretaker to the otherwise infant that'll be attached to you all game. Keep in mind that you won't always get the run of the litter ADC. This is just a precautionary measure so that you're ready for the fuckery that you will most likely have to deal with. In fact, there are times when your ADC will actually be good at what they do. This is a moment of bliss for all supports as everything tends to run smoothly. Your ADC gets ahead early in laning phase and then you get to relax for pretty much the duration of the match. These will be the fleeting moments of your career as a support, however, because instead of getting an ADC like this, you'll more than likely get one of these, or God forbid. Mental preparation is key in dealing and coping with your ADC and how they play the game. Which brings me to my next lesson. Knowing your ADC's playstyle is essential in creating what we call synergy. This is the phenomenon in which you and your ADC operate in perfect harmony. To reach this, you have to understand your ADC and the way they approach the game. Are they aggressive or passive, aka Demamare is a soldier or a little bitch? First, let's talk about a passive ADC. With a passive ADC, you'll find that laning phase will be pretty much laid back and boring, to be honest. Your ADC will want to farm and stay toward the back as to avoid conflict, slowly biding their time until they're strong enough to leave lane and attend their high school reunion so they can show just how successful they are to their old school bullies. A passive playstyle makes it so that it's harder for you to get shut down because the enemy has to do more to get to you. However, it makes the time it takes for you to get strong grow longer and longer the more passive you get. On the other hand, you have the aggressive ADC. These are the ones who take life by the balls and punches repeatedly. This breed of ADC believes that if your opponents are breathing, then someone isn't doing their job right. They will often be beside or in front of minions, hitting the enemy whenever they get within range to force them back or to outright kill them. High risk, high reward is the motto for this aggressive type. Getting strong early in the game to stomp out the opponent, but making it easier to get shut down if you overextend or stay in the fight too long. Whichever makes its way into your lane, you have to learn to adapt in order to thrive. Which brings me to the final lesson. Now that you know what makes your ADC tick, you've got to adjust your own playstyle so that it can better fit theirs. After all, you're there to make sure that your ADC is relevant to the game, otherwise you find that the game gets much harder. If they play aggressively, you gotta make sure you can play with them and back them up when they inevitably end up biting off more than they can chew. Often the best to beat here is a tank, who can take the brunt of the hits so that you maximize the damage but minimize the risk to your ADC. You could also go the damage route if you want to help push the attack even further and possibly get kills for your ADC. If they're passive, you need to be able to dial it back, protect them, and help them with farming until they're comfortable enough venturing out into this cold, dark world. With this, you can go the tank route or someone with heavy crowd control, helping to keep the enemy in place or even push them back and blocking all of their spells. Being proficient in these are what's going to count once in game and overall make you a better support. After all, who else is going to spoon feed your ADC? But that's a lesson for another day. Class dismissed.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.